Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and I love any makeup, especially shiny, shifty, and sparkly eyeshadows. And today I'm really excited because I'm going to be trying out the Uoma Beauty Black Magic eyeshadow palette, which is part of the Make It Black collection, which is in collaboration with the Make It Black initiative. And 100% of the proceeds are going to the Pull Up for Change Small Business Impact Fund, which is awesome because how many times do you see like 100% of proceeds going to an organization or to a fund? I feel like that's pretty rare to see. So this is the inside color story and we have some duochrome shadows, and look at these metallics. The camera can't even handle how shiny and beautiful they are. I can't wait to show you this palette. When I saw it, I knew I wanted to try it out because shimmers really just drew me in and I wanted to try the formula of these. I was kind of hoping that they would be something kind of like similar to Pat McGrath, but a little bit more cost effective. This palette is $44, I believe. It is not on Ulta.com yet. I did buy it off of their website. I'm actually not sure if it's going to be on Ulta because of the whole proceeds thing. I'm not sure how that works with Ulta and other retailers. So I'm going to be showing you two looks with this palette, and I am also wearing a third look on my eyes. I did not film this one, but I did use the palette just I really wanted to try it out for third time. I'm also wearing the Maya lipstick, which is part of this collection as well, and this has a really nice component. It's magnetic and the inside is bright green, and this is the shade. It looks really beautiful. It's got like a very soft matte almost formula. It reminds me of the matte trends lipsticks, Juvia's Place lipsticks, etc. It has a nice heaviness to it. And I did also buy the powder and I have tried it a couple of times. And what really intrigued me about it is you actually twist this, and that's how you get the powder out. So it's supposed to be a lot less messy than just like a regular, like a couple of hole sifter. So I just thought that was super, super interesting. I think there's like a blush or something that I think Bobbi Brown has or something like that, where it kind of does something similar to this. But I think this is so smart and I really wanted to try it. So I'm not going to show you the application of this, but I will kind of talk about the powder because I have used it a couple of times since I got it. So let's get right into the two looks with this palette and I will give you some of my thoughts at the end of the video. Priming with the Gimme Glow eyeshadow primer. Going into Garvey, right into the crease. I have tried an Uoma Beauty palette before, like a while ago, but I don't remember too much of it. I remember there was some like weird shimmers in there. They were almost like glitters basically. And then I'm gonna use Nelson to go right above that to blend that out. Back into Garvey. Beautiful blend. Back into Nelson just a little bit up here. Garvey on the outer corner as well, but I am going to be deepening this up with Fella, which is a black eyeshadow. Just adding a little bit at a time. I feel like this is making it really smoky. Back into Garvey. I feel like these are different than the palette I've used before. I don't know, these just seem to be different. I feel like this is not really blending together really nicely. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more. And then back into Garvey. But I mean, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to go in with the Fairnay Pixie Epoxy. I do feel like I need just something wet for these to stick down to since they are just so silky. So I picked up X. Super blinding. Whoa. Even the camera can't focus on that. Look at how shiny that is. Whoa, that looks amazing. I wonder if I just had wet my brush, if that would have been sufficient or not. But I really feel like it just needed that something to stick down to. That is amazing. That is amazing. And it looks so smooth on the lid too. Finishing off this look with Garvey underneath my lower lash line. And then a little bit of Fella. And just a little bit more Garvey. So the edges of that. I Put on the Heavenly Lashes from Unearthly Cosmetics, and here's the first finished look. There's definitely a duochrome shift. It's almost a multi-chrome. I would say it shifts more like a multi-chrome than like a duochrome, because a duochrome's usually just, it's kind of like already in it. You can kind of see the duochrome effect when you're looking straight on, versus a multi-chrome, which you have to kind of have different points of lighting hitting it. But that looks so beautiful, so smooth, like liquid metal. Priming with the Gimme Glow Eyeshadow Primer for the second look. I'm taking Lewis. Wow, that is a lot darker than I thought. I don't know why in the pan I felt like it was going to be a little bit lighter. I'm going to do a halo eye on this side. Just a little bit more. So it's going to go right into the crease. And then I'm taking Dubois, and it's going to go on the inner lid. And the outer corner. Again, I'm going to go in with the shade Fella, and then taking Lewis to blend this out here. I just feel like the way that these are kind of blending together, it's like they don't almost kind of want to blend together. Like they do end up doing it, but it's, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's really translating. It's just interesting. And then going in with Fella, and I'm just gonna put that like right against my lash line. I definitely think that the black is blending in better with the cooler tone brown. I feel like there's different kinds of blacks, and this is definitely like a graphite-y black when it blends. Go back in with Dubois. I think that's a really nice blend for sure. Just a little bit of kind of unevenness that I'm seeing in real life, but I don't see it translating on the viewfinder. And then I'm gonna take the Fairney Pixie Epoxy. I'm just gonna put it right in the center of my lid. I'm tapping it out. And I want this to be pretty wide actually, because I'm gonna go in with two different shades. So I'm first taking King, and I'm gonna put that right near the inner and outer corners. This is such a sparkly shade. Oh wow. Oh, that's so pretty. And then Pac in the center. This is like a duochrome green yellow. Oh, these two shades together are amazing. Amazing. A little bit more. I think I'm gonna go back in with King just right here. Right here. And I'm gonna take my little blending brush and just make sure I don't have any harsh edges. Love the way that's looking. Finishing off this look with the Dubois underneath, connecting with the outer corner. I'm gonna go in just a little bit on my inner, on the inner portion under my lower lash line as well. Just a little bit more out here, and then taking Fella and here as well, just a tiny bit. I don't want it to be like. I picked up Pac on this brush and I sprayed it with some water, and that is applying so beautifully. Wow, that looks amazing. And here's the second finished look. Look at that shine, so beautiful. And there is maybe like a little bit of a shift kind of in the dark green. I kind of see like a little bit more of like a dark blue when I shine the light on it. And then the center shade is a duochrome for sure. So first I'm going to talk about the powder. It is super, super, super finely milled, which I love that I have set the perimeter of my face with this today, as well as previously off camera. And I did also use it under my eyes, and I really, really love this under the eyes. I can't speak on wear time yet. I haven't fully like wear tested these. I do plan on wearing this tomorrow. I'm going to be traveling into the office, commuting on the train. So I'm going to be wearing a full face of makeup like the whole day, which I don't really usually do anymore. So I'm going to keep you updated, but so far I'm really, really enjoying it. It reminds me of the Velvetizer from, I think it was Too Faced or Urban Decay. I can't remember. I think it was Urban Decay. If you remember that powder, it has the same consistency to it, so it's extremely finely milled. And I do really love the packaging because it does make it just a little bit easier to use. It is still like a little bit messy because it is just so finely milled that it does kind of poof up everywhere. And of course, like if you have a larger brush, of course I don't have one ready. For example, this one, if you're kind of going in there, you're gonna really just kind of get this much. So, I mean, unless you're kind of going in with like a smaller brush, which you could, of course. Is this one kind of smaller? Yeah, this one kind of will fit really nicely. But I do like to set with quite a bit of a large brush, just kind of around my face, not as much really in my T-zone, because I do tend to dry out there if I do that. But I'm really glad I tried the powder. I did get the shade Light. I think I forgot to mention that. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. The lipstick is super, super nice. I love the shade. I love the formula so far. Like I said, it reminds me of a couple of different formulas that I've tried, which I love those. So that definitely makes me want to reach for that one. So let's talk about the palette, because that is why we are all here. And the shimmers in here are just spectacular. I mean, just look at my lid. I'm currently wearing Dubois like in the crease, and then Fella all over the lid and just kind of smoked out into Dubois. And then I'm wearing the Gunmetal shade all over the lid, and it is so stunning. I did use the Fernie Pixie Epoxy. I do feel like these are going to need a little bit of something if you really want these to be foiled. I'm not saying that they're not foiled otherwise, but it does really help. These are just silky, silky smooth. They look amazing on the lid. I honestly don't know what formula to even compare these to, because they're so unique in texture. I think, if anything, maybe somewhat similar to Pat McGrath, but not really like anything too similar. I don't really think even Pat McGrath has the silky liquid metal texture. I do want to point out that I feel like not all of the textures are exactly the same. So for example, King, like while it is definitely like super, super smooth, it does not feel like as silky to the touch as POC and X. Like these are just a whole nother level, and I feel like you can kind of see that. So there's just a little bit of variation in between just the textures of these shadows, but they look absolutely stunning on the lid. I am so glad that I tried it out, because I was hoping these metallics would impress me, and they definitely did. I mean, I gasped when I opened this palette. Onto the mattes, I don't really know exactly what to compare these to. They're really, really also silky smooth, and I had a little bit of blending issues with them on top of the Gimme Glow eyeshadow primer. And so I did try them for this look over the P. Louise paint primer, which that one kind of sits down on its own, and I definitely feel like they worked much better on top of that one. They blended more easily, they blended together more easily. So I think this might be a formula that doesn't really like a tacky base. The mattes are not my favorite, but that doesn't mean that they're bad mattes. I just think I prefer the star of the show are really the metallics in here, and I'm so excited that I got to try out this palette. And I'm honestly like really, really surprised that I don't know what to compare these shimmers to, because they just feel so insanely beautiful and different, and the way that they look on the lid, they just have a certain look to them. Like I said, like, you know, I say a lot like liquid metal, like with multi-chromes from Clionadh, like the jeweled multi-chromes, but this is just like a different kind of liquid metal. So that's everything for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you picked this palette up, or if you're interested in it. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's so much indie makeup content uploading my channel and much more to come. You don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.